Okay, welcome back to section 2 of the Zigzibit Creating Exhibit Envy website tutorial. I'm your host, Alan Hauser. Where we left off was over here on the homepage section. We were talking about the this and the that. The icons and those things, those are, all hard-coded in. So, if you wanted to change those, it would be programmatically difficult. No, it would just take a developer to do it. But it can be done. Let's see, what else? Okay, so like video, for example, there's a Squarespace video player that's all baked in and stuff. So if you have a video, then it's a matter of, oh, come on now, intro edit, space bars everywhere, and space blocks. But it's basically I'm using a gallery, and within the gallery then we have the ability to add a YouTube video, and this actually will display as a thumbnail. So in that grid again, set it as widescreen, and then lightbox, one image. So yep, that's a YouTube video. Didn't save anything, didn't change anything. All right, so cool on that regard then. So coming down then to each of the landing pages, if we go to like custom exhibits, let's go over here to pages so we can see where we're at, where we are located. Secondary navigation, Google, doopy-doopy-doo. Oh, that's right. Yeah, so these are all of our landing pages in the what we do area. So if you're wondering, again, we talked about the pop-up menu or the drop-up menu. That's what all those are. We can kind of work into this backwards, I guess. But we could say, let's edit the custom exhibit page. We have an H or a heading 1. Again, we have some paragraph text, our spacer block, business, and then we have summary blocks. And so each one of these are summary blocks. And you can kind of see going down, how those all work. What I will do is actually I will create a new line, and it'll be a custom thing. So there's a custom show that's going on, and it's the Allen show. So what we'll have is we will have some new photos coming in, so I have those with me. So if we go to the back end again, we'll see I have a galleries folder, and it's only a folder just to hold stuff. So it's just to kind of keep things nice and neat, and these are all the same thing. So these are all the photo galleries that we're using. So if we go to, for example, here's retail, and if we come into this, then we can basically see we can actually drag this wider too, which is a little handy, I guess. But those will all load in, and it's really not meant to kind of display. Oops, I guess I'm doing something. It's not meant to display this many photos within this gallery kind of thing, but this is a good way to kind of at least add all of your gallery images, and then you can add all of the categories and filters and all those things to make them appear on the various areas throughout the site. So on the, I'm not going to call it Allen Show. on the butternut squash show, what we have are some new images that we have to upload. So if we go, we're in the retail gallery. We said we wanted that in the custom gallery, right? So let's go to the custom gallery, and I'll just let it kind of sit here and think for a second. And while it's thinking, I can go down here and upload stuff. So that's what this little upload thingy is for. It's for uploading new images. You can also drag and drop images directly to that area. But since we're kind of in this training mode, so this is the butternut squash show. We just came back with this, and it was a fantastic show. We're really thrilled about it. Or we just got these in email, and the show starts immediately. So what I'll do is I will post these images in the gallery. I'll show you how they appear on the custom page, and then we can make a blog post and show how they appear over there. All right, so butternut squash on 3. 1, 2, 3. So what I did is I just selected multiple images to upload, and sometimes it's uploading now. So sometimes I'll just scroll like impatiently. No, I found that if you like scroll to the top and then bring it back down, now it'll show like that it's working. It doesn't matter, but at least it'll show that something's happening. So there's our 5 images from the butternut squash show, and then what we can do is, you can see that I think these are all like 4:3 ratio at this point. So never fear, it doesn't matter. We can put whatever, like, there's verticals in there and all sorts of stuff. But we want to set that focal point, which you can actually do immediately. So let's do the Hagen, and let's do that thing on the helmet, and let's do this rose thing, and then the tip of the diamond, and then the center of that thing. So then what we can do is we want to go ahead and define these as the butternut squash show. So what we can do then is we can come in here to categories, and you'll see that these are all the previous ones that I've added. So then what we'll do is we can say butternut. I'm just going to say butternut demo, just so you guys will know. I'll delete it, but anyway. If we hit enter, then we just created the category, and if we want these to appear multiple places in the site, then what we could do is actually we could say, okay, well, this was also a robot coupe thing or whatever, and you can see that it's going to stack all the, it'll add all those, so it doesn't matter. But I guess by doing that, I would actually shove those images to the robot coupe area. So I guess you just do want to know. So butternut demo at this point, and actually all I have to do now is hit save, and then just do the same thing to each photo. And you don't have to type it now. All you have to do is select category, butternut, save. So this is what I was doing on several days in a row, adding images and doing all this. But it kind of helps. It really does help to keep things organized kind of as you go. And your connection's most likely faster than this one. And this computer too it's a 13-inch MacBook Pro, like right on the bleeding edge of maxed out business. Speaking of which, I can see my memory just crashing again. Okay, so as I'm cleaning my memory, I don't have to, I guess, do that. Okay, so we've added our images. This is our butternut squash show, and from here I could actually just jump right over here to our custom page, because that's where we want these to be. And I guess we've kind of put these in alphabetical order. You know, you could reorganize them if you want. It's just basically drag drop. But I will put it right here after Bernadald. So what we want to do then is if we click Edit on the Custom Exhibits page, which is over here, and then this is, I don't think I've even shown you this yet. So I'm sure you've probably seen it if you've already been playing in Squarespace, but where you see the line, that's where you would insert content. So there's already areas right now. I mean, it's going to be a piece of cake to kind of go, okay, well, we want to insert something here. What was it? Yeah, it's a summary block. So I can go ahead and select that. And you'll want to select gallery because that's where you go, but it's not where we go. We actually want to select a summary carousel. And then it's saying, you know, select a collection to display. So you can actually you can shove blog posts in there and do all kinds of stuff. You can go, yeah, you can do all that. But we're going to select custom gallery, and it'll immediately start pulling in, you know, custom gallery stuff. So what I always do then is I jump over to display to limit the filter with the filter. And actually, let's go down here. So we can see that, okay, well, it's also showing date posted. We don't want that, so we'll say none. It's an important first step. And then the category filter, if you start to type, like if I type an A, well, there's red hat, there's you know, so there's all those. Mine's butternut demo. So then when I select that, it'll go ahead and grab all those images, and then it even knows that there's going to be overflow, so it did that. Tag filter. If you have other filters too, like if you had 500 butternut demo images, and then you're just like, well, let me show the ones with aluminum or whatever, then you can add the tag back on those images that says aluminum, and then it would filter that and that, which is cool. I think you can also do, what was the other B? Maybe it's a space. Bernadad. And I'll try an A. I thought you could do that here, but maybe not. Well, anyway. So we've got our butternut demo thing. All right, so we got that. Number of items, I always crank that all the way up to 30. It's like the max. In other words, we'd be able to scroll through. If you're going to scroll, then you'd have the ability to possibly hit 30 if you ever need to, whatever. So just keep it on 30. Then on the layout carousel, we've already selected. The header text is what would show there. So I'm going to say butternut squash show 2016, whatever. Our aspect ratio, if everything here is a square, and we decided long ago that we're going to show 4 images. Yep, and we still have the overflow 1, so cool. Text size, I just leave those default. And that's it. So now what we've done is we've posted our butternut squash show images, and rather than go all crazy here like latest, you know, and making a big to-do and cluttering up this experience, what we could then do is go to the blog and then say latest on the butternut squash show. So while we're here, let's just go ahead and, you know, click through and we'll be able to see, you know, those are all the images that we added. I guess I did make that the focal point on that. I made, you know, so they were almost square images anyway, so we're not seeing a whole lot of focal point adjustation, but you see kind of what's going on there. So butternut squash show posted, awesome. Then if we go to the blog, we want to go ahead and tell the world about the butternut squash show and how amazing it was and all this stuff. So when I clicked in here, you can see we're on the blog, and we're still kind of looking back here. So it's kind of like almost like a split screen, which is really weird. But if you click back on pages, and then the easiest thing that I always look for is just look for the A icon, which is the blog collection thing. There it is, blog. So if you select blog here, then what it's going to do is it's going to refresh, and we're basically seeing all of the posts that we've got here, and you can also post drafts and things. But so it's kind of like a preview mode. So if I select a post over here, it's going to show it over here. But what we're wanting to do is do a new post. So I can just click the plus sign, and my post title is Butternut Squash Demo Show 2016. So all right, so there's our butternut squash post, and there's my intro text, and it was awesome. So, and then I might just do like a like a call out or something. And if we want to do that same weird formatting that I did on the other pages, we could kind of see. If I want to put that block in front of just that text there, I'll have to like slice those apart. So using a spacer is a way to do that. And then get another spacer. I'll show you here. This is a total hack, but it works. And then so now we've got one wide, and then whatever. So we've kind of like done kind of a fake indent, and then we can delete that spacer, and then it'll become it'll come back together. And then maybe we want to go ahead and do our images here. So what I'll do is grab I'm going to grab the grid, and I'm going to drag and drop that right there. And then we could say existing gallery, and actually this isn't the best way to do this, but I'll show you that this does work as well, but we can't do the filtering with this, which is frustrating, but that's why you use those summary blocks. So we'd say custom, and we might just be lucky in that, oh no, I guess those ones at the very top are the ones that are going to show first. So we don't have the ability to do filtering on that component. So instead of gallery, what we'll do is we'll say discard on that. I'm going to trash the gallery, and I'm going to choose a summary block, which is there. And we can see that we can do a grid summary as well. So it'll act just like the gallery block would. But so we can scroll then to custom gallery. I almost hit apply, but we don't want to do that yet. And then on our display, again, it's exactly the same as we did on the other page. In fact, on this one, I just want to show 3 images, and I don't want to have the date, and category filter, butternut demo, and then our layout. I think in this case I'll just to show that it's different, I'm just going to show like there's like a widescreen image version. I think we're only showing 2 across there, so we can actually number of items. Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. Okay, so on our column width then is where we would determine how those images are going to show within that grid. So that's how the grid works. That it just has its default state on like that or like that. There's also a list view that would make them vertical. There's also a wall view, which would show them kind of like a, oops, I didn't want to do that. Okay, column width, gutter width. I'm just going to say apply so we can get this thing thinking. And for some reason they're not showing up yet, but what I'll do is just say save and publish. Just so I can wait for my connection. There it goes. So the wall view is a little different. Let me see if I can show you what the wall view does. If you have like verticals and horizontals and stuff like that, then the wall view does something a little different. I'm going to say 5. And then our gutter width, I'll take that down to 10. And then we'll say apply, and you'll just see that. I mean, this isn't the best demo because these images don't really mean a whole lot, but the wall view then it would actually adapt like the whole way down. So it's kind of flexible like that. But anyway, so there's the images there, and then if we go to the blog, then we'll see that what happens then is if you add an excerpt, which you said you really like this because of the contained area. We have a preview image almost, and then the excerpt content, and then the title and the date. So if you don't add the excerpt, the whole post will display without the excerpt. So it's basically like, yeah, you can view posts, but here's the whole post. But when you do view the post, it's going to be formatted, just as we just saw it. So so that's how that works there. But what we want to do is then add that excerpt content, and where that is done is if we're still in the post, and let's say maybe we haven't even published it yet, but we have. If we go to options, what we do then is we'd add that alternate image. So we're going to do the little space helmet business. And wonderful. And then our excerpt content would be what's going to display there. So I'm just going to say like 3 sentences. Blah, blah, blah. And then save. Then, so we're saving. Oh, okay, blog. There we go. So got our cool space helmet. There's our butternut squash text, and this actually, yeah, I guess that's how it's supposed to look. But anyway, I think it probably does span over, but when I resized the page, so it's kind of like it did what it could on this little computer. So there it is. And if we click into it, then or click the title, whichever, it'll go into the actual full post. And then what's also cool is that the latest post will show up in the footer of the site too. So that excerpt content, it'll actually just show the image that we set, and then the title. So that's why it's kind of important to always use that appropriate excerpt image. So a good example would be like USA Today, how maybe on their homepage they might have the president waving to the crowd on the homepage, and then you go to the post and it's the president at the podium, and you don't see that other image. It's because it's kind of similar. It's a it's kind of like a thumbnail or an excerpt kind of special content. So what we can do then is we could kind of consider that, you'd want maybe this image to appear a little differently or something like that. So, maybe you want to use an animated cat GIF. Why wouldn't you? Yeah. So there we go. So now I'm pretty sure GIFs work here too. So there's our actual post. Then if we go back to the blog, there's our awesome animated GIF. Show was awesome, and go down to the footer again. Oh yeah, and again with the focal point. So, dude, this thing's ready for awesome. So our focal point is on the sleeping cat. That's what we're going to say. Oh, settings and options. No, we're going to do it on these two. And we probably got to refresh. There's our post. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so we're on get a quote page now or whatever. And still in the footer we have that latest post. We can click it, and there's the butternut squash demo show 2016. Oh, and then obviously if this is a blog post and we're talking more about custom, it was great custom thing, and what we could do is link back to the custom page. Oh, view other custom projects. This is a text link, so what I could do is just link it and say content. Yes, and then we can go to custom exhibits. So there's that way, or if you want to use a button, there's a button block, which is all fancy. So you can select button then, and again, with the custom projects. Sometimes it refreshes. There it goes. It's getting there. So then I would scroll to that content, then exhibits, and we have a couple different views. Apply. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Medium. Oh yeah. So we can say left justify, right justify. The small button is the rounded one. Oh, actually, it will be rounded. So this would be a rounded one, but you can't see it at this point. For some reason, it's just not styled. There it is. And waiting on the gallery to come in. Again with the custom projects. So there's our small button. And view other projects. So at this point we could click that, and then now we're in the custom exhibits area. So staff page is the same way. Well, it's a little, well, it's not the same way at all. It uses a blog, so that's the same. Oh, let me let's go back and kill all that I just made. So let's go to the blog, and we'll go ahead and delete butternut squash demo. Confirm. And let's see, then back on custom exhibits. This computer's really lagging. All right. Butternut squash show. And delete that. So all we've done now is removed all the kind of front end dealies. If we actually went to the gallery and removed them, then there would be a it would look like this. You'll know it when it happens. It's just basically a little error kind of message. If I just say apply and I don't put anything in it, it'll just say you must select a collection. So everyone would see that in the world, so you just delete it. Save it. Then if I go custom gallery, and you can select multiples to delete, but you can't select multiples to categorize. So in other words, you can't say, I want to make all these that project, which would be amazing. But what you can do is then, I think you can, well, you can select carefully. You can select like multiples. Or you can click delete on each one like that. And there's no save because you've already saved it by doing so. All right. Then staff. So the staff page just things happen a little differently on the staff pages. And it looks like maybe someone's playing with that at this point, which is okay. Maybe. So what we have is we have our blog that has all the staff, and it's not meant to be viewed in this list view. So this list view isn't linked anywhere. So when we want to create a new person, it's basically what I've done is I would go in here to like edit one of these, and you can kind of see what the components are. I mean you might even take a screenshot of, you know, just to kind of see how things are laid out, because then when you make a new post for your new person or whatever, then you can kind of just follow what's being done. But basically we have the person's name is the post title. We have an image that's left justified. I have a code block, and this is ultra important. If you're going to create one of these, you would just copy this and then paste it in the new thing. What I'll do is I'll just go ahead and do that. I'll just go ahead and create a new staff person. Somehow I'm trying to think how I can copy and paste less stuff. We'll just act like this. Whoa. I'll just save. I won't save it. Copy. Paste. And I guess I don't need that because I'm going to make fake text. And I'm going to say cancel because I just kind of screwed up that. All right, so now with the staff, I'm going to go ahead and create a new dude. And this is Alan Training. So if you see this, you'll know what's going on. I'm just going to say save. That way you'll see it immediately if you're editing stuff. So without an image, he already shows. So Alan Training his name, and then we want to grab image. Image. Block. And this needs to be a square image. Actually, it doesn't here, so never mind. Just ignore what I just said. So this is our photo. That's the actual real photo, not the cartoon image. So I'm just going to say apply, and then we want to grab some text and drop it over here. And we had that code block. So we have a text block here, which we're just going to say blump. So there's that. Email address, highlight the text, and grab the link. And then you'd want to type mail to : hello. Enter. So now that's our mail to link. That's the most coding you will do. And then we have a code block here, which we talked about. So what that's doing is that's holding specific elements. And those are specifically the staff name and title. Staff name, staff title. So those become positioned and they go right there. It's formatted that way now. And then we need a bunch of Greek text for the bio. That'll just paste. Oops. Everyone makes mistakes. And if it does this for you, where you're like, how do I get in there? Just like put it somewhere. But what I typically do is grab a horizontal line and I guess we got the code block. Oops. Code block. And then text block goes right underneath the code block. And then I can just delete this line because now it's going to hold its width right there. All right, so there's that. We got Alan Training. So what happens when this page goes live is this text gets positioned on that first code area, and then the category, pretty sure, yeah, I have a category. I'm just going to say sales. I think we have them in there. Oh, it's not showing up. It should. Oh, maybe it's in tags. Oh yeah, okay, so sales executive, that's where it was. All right, so sales executive, right? And then I'm saying comments. Oops. Comments off. I've turned comments off on all these. And then options. This is how we get our little cartoon dude to show up. So what we do then is we grab, let's say this is our cartoon face. And we want this to be a square. These are all square images. So I'm just going to use this tool and just make my own little square image. And in case you're editing the site. There we go. Then the other key point, we have the name that shows up, which is from the post, and then this title. This is important. This is in the excerpt area. So I think we said, I forget what we said. I'm going to say sales manager on this dude. Actually, we go back. Sales executive. So we just retype that. Tib. And then that's it. And we were lucky that it's alphabetically sound. So there's my actual staff page for Allen Training, and there's my little image that I added and stuff. So then if we go to team page, we should see the first one should then be the Allen one. And that's how that works. Let's say that this guy's name wasn't Allen. This is where things get really gross. But let's say this is Chuck Training. So what we'll see is it's not going to automatically alphabetize. So when you want to change, as we did, when you want to change the ordering of things, so we want this to be alphabetical now, we would need Chuck to be down in BC. So we need to change the posted on date. Now that sounds weird, but it's a blog, so the order of these happens according to the date they're posted. So we can just go and backdate this one to, like, I'm going to say December 17th and just see what happens on this dude. So I'm going to say Chuck Training. We said December 17th. And I'll click off, and then I'll say save. And you'll have to refresh it here as well. Oops. So I'm just doing a quick refresh, or not so quick, doing a refresh. Chuck Training, there we go. B, C, D. So now if we go to our team, we'll see that Chuck Training shows up right there. So that's how that works. So if we go back to our team, then I'm just going to go ahead and delete Chuck Training. Or if we think, okay, well, this guy's on vacation for a long time, what we could do is we could say edit, and then we could make a draft instead. If you have multiple people doing stuff, you can say, hey, this needs review. And I'm not sure what that does, but actually if I say save and publish, I bet it doesn't. Oh, because I published it. Edit. It's going to be hard to see with my button here. I think this one says save. Oh, wait. So if I say this needs review, I think this is save. Yep. So it says review. So the world wouldn't see that yet. So it's not really published. And then so if you kind of have a team like your workflow where you have multiple blog posts, for example, you could have someone writing drafts, and then once they're done writing, then they could send it for review, and then you could have that editor going in and saying, okay, this is Chuck Training, looks really good, and then they could actually then go in and mark that as published or scheduled or whatever. So you can also schedule it in the future. But I'm just going to delete it. Remove post. Yes. So there's nothing in review now. Cool beans. Guacamole. Was hoping that was going to come back too. Okay, so now let's make sure that our team is flushed out. It shouldn't even see it in there now. Coolness, and then let's see, about us, blog, get a quote. So the get a quote page, pretty simple. It's just basically the embedded form from Typeform, and we can get this party started. So it's basically you go to the Typeform page. I don't have your login information on this computer, but it's basically it's a code block, and it's basically just their code that you just plop in there. So then you just hit save. So all the styling and everything, all the look and the feel of that form is done then on the Typeform side of things. So that works that way. Other areas, trade show calendar, about us, our team, get a quote. I think that's about it. I mean, everything else will follow the same patterns that we've shown here. There are a few other, see if I can go back. I don't know if I can. Oh, come on. Escape key. Waiting. All right. Yeah, so there's other settings then. If we see like metrics, Squarespace has their own built-in metrics. So you can see kind of like, wow, that's a lot. So like today, 157 page views. You can see like audience size. So we've had 8 people on the 18th, 6 people. So actually 6 different people, 8 different people. And that's how many page views. That's kind of cool. So so you can see that there, mobile usage. So it's a lot easier to read than Google Analytics, in my opinion. And you can see that, you know, desktop 76%, mobile. I think if you hold this, it'll show. Wonder why. I'm just wondering what the question mark was. Anyway, 100% mobile on December 29th. So that's probably me testing and stuff. Desktop OS, Mac, 66%, Windows 7, Windows NT. Who has that? Android, iPhone. This must be you, and this is my phone. Mobile usage, RSS, popular content. So if you made like a blog post, you'd be able to see how it's ranking among other posts and things. So you can actually do all that tracking right here as well. Site search queries, if you had search built in, you can also see search engine queries, which shouldn't have any, thank goodness, because the site's locked, so there wouldn't be anything yet. Activity log, this would show like IP addresses. So I'm not sure whose is whose, but and I don't even know if you need to know that information, but looks like Mozilla, iPhone, Macintosh. I don't know who that is either. Mozilla 5.0. Anyway, so you know, you can basically see where they're coming from, what kind of computer and all that stuff. So if it means something, then you can do that. Or you can search for like IP address or whatever. I mean, that's pretty specific information, but RSS subscribers, you could have subscribers to your blog posts, certainly. refers would be, there's a tweet about something on your site, then you would see it show up here. So in any links coming into the site would go there. But yeah, that's all built in. Other like SEO type things, you'll want to go through and complete the rest of these. I don't think you'd want to put your tax ID. I don't think that's necessary. This area will actually show up on the mobile setting. So what's cool about this is, I don't know if you saw this on mobile yet or not. Maybe it'll show it. I guess it'll show it here. See if I can show it to you. I think it's in here. Mobile information bar. There we go. You can't see it on this screen because my screen's too small. But it shows it right there. There's a phone number. So if you click that, it'll do a dial, and then if you click that, it'll do a map thing. All cool. Same thing on what do you call those? Tablet. Tired. And well, folks, I think that's probably it. Other settings, basic information, business, site description. Okay, yeah. So other SEO type content, you'll want to go through and actually add a site description right there. Description of your site, short bio, and that won't show up here, but that'll show up as on like SEO business. So that's kind of an important one. And then marketing, SEO. I guess that's what this one's for. Search engine description. Item title, collection title. The other thing that you'll want to set up is, we talked about this just briefly, but on your pages, so let's say your About Us page, this page will index as is without having to like force the description and all that stuff, what goes to Google. But what you can do is, if you go to the gear on each page, then write your description. Furthermore, it's used that this page is indexed by a search engine. So that's kind of a key area to know about. I can show you kind of on my site. I haven't been like really worried about the SEO stuff on my site in a while, but see if I can at least show you. Let's see, on my quote page. Videos, inspiration, character, back to top. I'm not sure where that's coming from. More results. Here we go. So blog archive, inspiration. Yeah, so a lot of these I haven't set intentional descriptions. So it's pulling content from the actual site is what's happening. So what I was going to show you is like the main information there. So we could see on like settings, general business information. Where is it? guess it's here. So there it is. What do you do? You know, so snarky, whatever. But I thought it said it there. Anyway, maybe it's because I have other things like quote page. There we go. Squareflair's design studio, blah 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 blah, on development. So it does say that. Or did we see it? It was on that quote page. There it is. That's where that's coming in. So anyway, just showing that if you go in, then what you can do is kind of customize that. You know what that says. It's nothing hard, no secrets there, but just kind of showing you where that would end up. And so a good rule of thumb, and you can read about this in actually Squarespace has even some documentation, some articles on this, but you could go in and I would write a description that doesn't appear on this page. Then it'll give you the opportunity to kind of rank higher because you're not kind of repeating the same content, being kind of redundant. So you know, so I mean, you've got some good phrases here though that's really going to rank. I mean, like ABC's Extreme Makeover. You might have someone actually searching for that, you know. So they might find that based on that, or they might find it based on the description that you shove in there. So, but that's how you do that. And then, so if you go through on all these pages, click the gear, and then go to description, and type that. I mean, you can even like search for like writing SEO page descriptions for SEO, whatever. So you'll be able to see, you know, what suggestions people kind of say. Action-oriented language, provide a solution of benefit. See, I didn't do that. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot you can kind of learn as you go. But ew, HubSpot. So anyway, I think that's about it. Certainly, if you have questions, let me know. But I think we've covered everything on the site. All right, thank you.